Hello, my name's Michelle Emsley. I'm the president of Kapakoa and I work here at the Yukon Arts Center in Whitehorse, Yukon, traditional territory of the Kwan-Lundun First Nation and Ta'anquatun Council. This beautiful snow sculpture was carved for us for World Whale Day Festival. The COVID-19 pandemic has completely disrupted the process for the creation and sharing of transformative artistic expression around the globe. In response, Kapakoa's International Market Development Committee launched this project, Connections, to provide artists and presenters virtual space for exchanging ideas and to develop new networks. Canadians came together virtually with their counterparts from Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Denmark, Mexico, Norway, Scotland, and Taiwan. The artists represent a multidisciplinary breadth of work from across Canada and around the globe. As a culmination to the project, we asked each of the artists to produce a 3-minute video to share their practice with hopes for future international exchange. On behalf of Kapakoa, we acknowledge that Connections is supported in part by a contribution from Global Affairs Canada Can Export Association Program and the Department of Canadian Heritage Creative Export Program. And now, let's meet the artists.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Spicy Landé. I am a choreographer and artistic director for Ebb and Flow Dance Company, a company I founded in 2015, so it's been about 5 years. It is based off Montreal, Quebec, Canada, but I've been also practicing this work for over 15 years. I am a practitioner of hip-hop, as a student, as a dancer, as a teacher. I love that form for the community it creates, for the energy it brings, for how it inspires young people, older people, and it brings a lot of people together. And that energy has taken me to be a creator and an artist in that field. I feel that my work lays in trying the challenge of bringing that energy, the authenticity and the truth of that culture within the work. So that's what I have to often be faced with is the challenge of creating those that energy, keeping it alive in the work. I also work in the long terms collaboration with the people around me, all the artists that help make the work what it is. So my music composer has been working with me for over 15 years. His name is Shashu. He's internationally known on the street dance community in terms of music for battles around the world. He's also very well known here in Montreal. I also work with Laetitia, who's an amazing light designer. I have Pax, who's a rehearsal director who works with me, who's an artist that I've been collaborating with and very tightly for over 20 years now. So I work with a lot of long-term relationship. I love to build that, but I like to discover people and different ways of moving and different ways of doing art. And this is why I enjoy the contemporary community also of dance, because it opens my mind to other things. For the past few months, since the COVID has happened, it's given me time to reflect, to meditate on my practice. It's opened doors in terms of an international level. I'm able to communicate with people, take classes from different pioneers or people I want to take class with, listen to conferences. It's really opened the doors for so many things. I've been able to learn. So I've done development of dance of a style called Jukin, and also in films. So I really, really love that time.
Olá, meu nome é Alejandro Ahmed, eu sou diretor e coreógrafo do grupo Cena 11 Companhia de Dança de Florianópolis, Brasil. A gente trabalha numa cidade ao sul do Brasil já há 25 anos. A companhia, de alguma forma, se estruturou pensando o corpo como um sintetizador de gravidade, e os nossos projetos artísticos desde 1993 são fundamentados na evolução desse pensamento, e com isso a gente desenvolveu um modo local e próprio de dançar, de se mover e de pensar também movimento como uma extensão da nossa produção de cultura. Da mesma forma, a companhia também, logo no início, se viu muito aproximada das pesquisas dos processos com arte e tecnologia, e desde então a gente pensa a tecnologia como uma expansão do corpo, e com isso a gente considera a tecnologia também uma continuidade da natureza. E dessa forma nossos projetos atuais e também passados sempre tentam acessar um modo de pensar corpo através do movimento que possa fazer com que a tecnologia seja essa expansão da nossa natureza e da nossa produção de cultura também. E nos atuais projetos a gente tem pensado muito nos processos de tradução e transdução, de materiais para materiais, substâncias para substâncias, e uma maneira de expandir o modo da gente comunicar a nossa localidade e pensar mais sobre o desenvolvimento de uma tecnologia local. Durante esse processo também que nos fortaleceu esse conhecimento para que a gente pudesse enfrentar, dentro da crise da Covid-19, uma maneira de continuar existindo. E com isso, porque nossos espetáculos foram todos cancelados, né? As nossas estreias, que eram para ter acontecido inclusive na Alemanha em 2020, e a gente, através da estreia que não aconteceu, de um projeto que tem o nome de Matéria Escura, a gente desenvolveu um projeto presencial online que tem o nome de Teaser para Futuro Fantasma. Dentro dessa característica, a gente se aproximou das telas também como extensão de corpo, se aproximou da ideia de legenda e da ideia da fala como um outro modo de usar caption, né? Subtitles e coisas do gênero, e com isso a gente conseguiu criar um projeto paralelo àquilo que a gente queria estrear. E o que eu acho sobre as nossas colaborações internacionais, elas são essenciais para que a gente possa entender localidade como capacidade de expandir nosso acesso às diferenças e, com isso, uma coalizão maior da compreensão da nossa possibilidade de viver juntos.
Can you hear the seagulls? I absolutely love living by the sea.
My name is Stine Nielsen. I am Artistic Director of CODA, Oslo International Dance Festival. We are based in Oslo, the capital of Norway, and I'm speaking to you today from my home office in Nesodden, just outside of Oslo. As Artistic Director and CEO of CODA, I organize and program the festival. We are one of the largest contemporary dance festivals in the Nordic countries, and we have a range of contemporary dance works together with our 5 collaborating venues in Oslo, both indoors and outside. We also do a range of workshops and seminars in relation to the performances that we show, as a way to give our audiences experiences of dance in various forms and to give them a chance to both participate, listen to dance and see dance. This network has been great to be part of. I've had a chance to meet and hear artists that I've never heard about before, as well as names of artists that I have heard about but not necessarily met. And it's been a real pleasure to hear people speaking from a very personal point of view of how they create. So to get an insight into creative process and to get an insight into what interests artists, as well as, of course, into specific works that they have done. It's also been brilliant to connect with other organizers and programmers from around the Nordic countries as well as Canada, and to hear each other speak about both what we do and also to speak about the artists that we work with. In terms of international collaborations for the future, I do still believe that this is going to be important and that we want to continue collaborating internationally despite our efforts to be more environmentally friendly, and to also respond to obviously the corona pandemic. I believe that we are finding ways to collaborate digitally better than we did before, and to find both presence and personal connection through the digital forms that we weren't used to doing before in the same way. And I also believe that finding ways of collaborating in terms of exchanging knowledge, exchanging artists, supporting greater networks of people traveling to visit and therefore possibly staying for longer period of times with partnering venues or partnering festivals is a positive way to make international collaborations happen in the future.
Howdy, my name is Chris Dirksen, and I am a composer and a cellist. I am half Cree and half Mennonite, which makes me a Creenanite. I originally come from Treaty 8 in northern Alberta. It is about 975 kilometers north of Edmonton, if you know Canadian geography, North Talker Reserve on my dad's side, and Buffalo Hills on my mom's side. I currently live in Takaranto, Toronto, the dish with one spoon territory. As I said, I'm a composer and a cellist. As a composer, I work in film, TV, dance, theater, art galleries, fashion shows. I've done major symphonic works for symphonies. I also have done a mass choral piece for 300 singers, chamber works. Basically, if it's in music, I'm totally interested and most likely have at least tried it once. My core practice is based around braiding the traditional and the contemporary over and over and over again in multiple different facets. So taking my colonial traditional instrument and braiding in contemporary sounds, I'm really interested in pedals. My performance arts works is I'm an electronic cellist with multiple guitar effect pedals, synthesizers, and drum machines. So again, braiding that traditional and contemporary over and over again. What motivates me to start a new project or to work on a project is the story. I am really interested in telling stories that need to be told. I'm interested in telling stories that need to be told from an Indigenous perspective. And I also ask myself, am I the right person to tell this story? How has this pandemic been for me for the past while? Well, to be honest, it's the first time I've been home for more than a month in 14 years. So there's definitely been some blessings in that. I was able to get a dog and kind of live a normal civilian lifestyle, which I actually really appreciate. I've been super lucky with working on multiple different projects that have kept me super busy. I'm currently doing a 4-part docu-series on the history of BC, and I have work lined up until next year. I'm still doing performances online, but most of my work has now turned to the composition in multiple styles. Like sometimes I'm doing notated commissions, and sometimes I'm doing electronic commissions. How I see international collaborations going, I hope that we get to play together soon. That's how I hope.
My name is Erin Brubaker, and I'm a director and a multidisciplinary artist. I now live in Toronto after living across Canada and in 3 other countries. And I think that the nomadic way that I lived for the first 10 years of my professional practice has really shaped the artist that I am now, because it gave me the opportunity to participate in the civic life of each of the 10 cities I lived in, and to think about what it means to bring a work of art to a particular country or community, and how a place and the people in it shape what the art becomes. As a theater director, I work with writers, performers, musicians, and visual artists to collaboratively make live experiences. My job as a director is to try to create the conditions and the aesthetic frameworks for all the artists I'm working with to share their best work. I like finding the art forms that best serve the ideas. I'm really interested in connections and encounters and making meeting places for audiences. I love working across languages, and in the past, like for the past 3 projects that I've directed, they've been in Inuit languages, German and Urdu, as well as in English. And I think that working across languages is essential when working in a city like Toronto or when working internationally. I like traveling between different kinds of projects. Right now, I'm laying the groundwork for a live, large-scale theatrical production featuring 20 teenagers for when we can gather again. And in the meantime, I'm working on a field guide to online collaboration. I've published several different kinds of books, a hybrid book based on a performance text that I co-wrote, and also a collection of poems. And right now I'm nearing completion of my 3rd book, which will be my first novel. It's been challenging to make anything during the pandemic because it's been hard to know what will have meaning for people a year or even a few months from now. It's been hard for me. But also this time has given me a chance to think more about a philosophy that I try to bring to all of my work, which is how things are made shapes what is made. And when I think about how things are made these days, I'm thinking a lot about how we work together and how we make things has an impact on the health of the land and the water and the people of this planet. And so when I think about international collaboration, I'm asking myself, how can we be more connected to each other and less destructive at the same time? And this might mean spending more time working together across distances and really valuing coming together as a precious thing and not an everyday action. So I'm hoping that these times will allow us to develop tools to be more intentional about how we gather in the future.
Hola, soy María Sibal, soy actriz, directora, coreógrafa, me definiría mejor como una artista multidisciplinaria y vivo en Santiago de Chile. Yo hace 10 años que investigo la lengua de señas como lenguaje escénico y he realizado diversos proyectos con la lengua de señas, tanto musicales, de poesía, de danza, de teatro y de videoclip. Y he tenido la suerte también de poder realizar los proyectos en algunos países como España, Francia, Chile y Inglaterra. Y en cada uno de estos lugares he ocupado la lengua de señas local, ya que la lengua de señas no es universal. Y eso también me ha permitido de poder conocer actores y actrices sordos alrededor de este pequeño mundo y poder conocer esta riqueza lingüística que es propia de la cultura sorda. ¿Por qué hago esto? Cuando comencé a estudiar la lengua de señas me di cuenta de la necesidad cultural de la comunidad sorda y de lo poco interesado que han estado los espacios culturales y las compañías en hacer accesibles sus proyectos y sus obras a la comunidad sorda. Se podría decir que es una comunidad un poco invisibilizada. Y al conocer a la comunidad sorda y su necesidad y esta riqueza lingüística, me enamoré de su sistema de comunicación, ya que la lengua de señas es una lengua que no tiene secreto. Para mí es el broche de oro de la expresión corporal. Y es una lengua que obliga a que esté todo tu cuerpo involucrado, que tu pensamiento vaya al corazón y que del corazón se exprese en estas manos. Es una lengua muy noble y es muy rica lingüísticamente también, y es muy visual. Durante esta pandemia, lamentablemente no hemos podido tener una cercanía con nuestro público oyente y nuestro público sordo, ya que nuestros proyectos son para todes. Y así que estamos esperando con mucha tranquilidad poder ser libres y poder encontrarnos, ya que para mí es muy importante tener contacto visual con las personas en los ensayos y también con los espectadores, ya que la lengua de señas es tan corporal y es tan rica. Esperamos en el futuro poder tener relaciones internacionales con otras compañías que desarrollen trabajos similares y que trabajen con la lengua de señas para poder enriquecer la cultura dentro de la comunidad sorda y conocer distintas lenguas de señas alrededor del mundo.
Bonjour. Hola. Hi. Mon nom est Clotilde Cardinal. Je suis la directrice de la programmation de la Place des Arts à Montréal, au Québec, une province canadienne où on parle le français. Pourquoi j'ai accepté de faire partie de cette cohorte avec l'Argentine de Capacoa? Parce que je voulais poursuivre le dialogue que j'avais amorcé avec cette communauté pour y avoir séjourné dans les dernières années et pour y avoir découvrir une richesse, une culture, des artistes fort intéressants, avec des approches diversifiées, d'avoir senti une connexion avec cette communauté-là. Donc, je souhaitais continuer à poursuivre le dialogue puis apprendre à mieux connaître les préoccupations des artistes de cette région du monde. Pourquoi j'estime les échanges internationaux fondamentaux? De tout temps, je trouvais qu'avoir des échanges internationaux, c'était de nature à amener de la richesse et de la valeur ajoutée à la culture d'accueil. Moi, je suis vraiment une enfant habitant Montréal, une grande ville cosmopolitaine. Je suis vraiment une enfant d'abord d'une expo universelle à la fin des années 60 et de l'accueil des Jeux olympiques en 76 à Montréal, qui ont façonné le visage de la ville où je grandis et où je travaille en amenant de l'immigration, des vagues d'immigration. Et s'en est suivi une transformation de la ville avec l'apport culturel de ces vagues d'immigration-là. Donc, je trouve ça non seulement essentiel, mais j'ajouterais qu'en envisageant la relance et la période post-pandémique, j'estime de plus que ça va être fondamental de s'ouvrir et de conserver une ouverture au monde. Parce que après avoir tant été confiné, ce serait dramatique que de se confiner entre pays. Et qui de mieux que les artistes qui travaillent à nous proposer des visions du monde, des reflets de notre société pour être le berceau de ces accueils internationaux, de ces échanges-là. Voilà. Alors, merci. Gracias. Thank you. Et à très bientôt.
Mi nombre es Bernardo Reyes. Yo dirijo el Teatro CENIT, Centro de Investigaciones Teatrales. Nuestro grupo fue fundado en el año 1992 por Nube Sandoval y por mí. Desde el inicio hemos seguido dos líneas de trabajo. La primera ha sido la creación de nuestros espectáculos a partir del estudio de los principios que rigen el trabajo del actor, de la construcción y uso de la máscara, del uso de espacios no convencionales para teatro y de la relación con otras disciplinas. La segunda línea de trabajo que hemos seguido es la aplicación del teatro en procesos de rehabilitación psicosocial con población vulnerable. Para esto hemos creado nuestra propia metodología que hemos llamado el teatro como puente. 2020 ha sido un año muy difícil, yo creo que para todos los movimientos teatrales en el mundo. Nosotros logramos concluir nuestra sala, localizada en la profunda selva de la Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, en el Caribe colombiano. Y a través de un financiamiento del Teatro Mayor Julio Mario Santo Domingo y de Iberescena, logramos traer a los actores por unos meses, donde trabajamos nuestro último espectáculo, Homo Homini Lupus, basado en Wojciech de Georg Buchner y Marat Sade de Peter Weiss. 2021 recibimos una invitación de la Comisión de la Verdad para realizar el espectáculo final en la ceremonia de entrega del informe, después de 3 años de trabajo de recopilación de testimonios de más de 50 años de violencia en el país. La Comisión de la Verdad fue un ente que se creó con los diálogos de paz en el año 2016 y cuyo fin es recopilar testimonios desde hace 58 años hasta ahora, sea con víctimas que con victimarios, con el objetivo de tratar de entender los códigos de comportamiento de nuestra sociedad que hacen que se repita esta espiral de violencia, para lograr comprenderla y pararla de una vez por todas. Entonces nosotros este año tenemos esta grandísima responsabilidad de hacer el espectáculo para la ceremonia final de entrega del informe.
Hello everyone, my name is Andreas Constantinou and I am the Artistic Director, Choreographer and Performance Maker at Him Her and It Productions. Him Her and It is a queer arts company, and an in-house company at Bora Bora Dance and Visual Theatre in Aarhus in Denmark. I would say the best way to describe the work we do and the performances that we create would be genre non-normative, non-traditional, queer, raw, very often in your face, unapologetic, provocative sometimes, confrontational, playful, quirky, unafraid. And I would say very often our thematics cross themes of gender, sexuality, identity. And currently, actually, we are in the middle of a 4-year research on developing performances around themes of endurance and resilience. In terms of my artistic practice, I would say it's split into 3 different strands. The first strand being the development of yearly high-quality professional productions, and these range from stage shows to immersive performances to large-scale installations that combine video and surround sound installation as well as performance. The second strand of my artistic practice is very much delving into community projects. So very often our professional productions involve the local community in some shape or form. The third strand of artistic practice is through hosting and presenting every 3 years a queer arts festival, which is called the Gender House Queer Arts Festival. The aim of this festival is to bring communities together. So we bring local, national and international queer artists' works to the city, and we have them presented in partnerships with the city's leading theatres, museums and cultural institutions. I think the future of international collaboration is exciting. Already there is a lot of hybrid formats happening, and actually the international arts community are connecting a lot digitally. I feel more so now than ever. So I feel there's a brewing pot and it's just waiting to explode. So only time will tell. I don't have answers. None of us really do. So we just have to wait and see. That's it. Very hard to do this in 3 minutes, but there you go. That's Him, Her and It in the quickest nutshell. Mwah. See you, peoples.
Hi, everybody. My name is AC Mensa. I am a choreographer, dancer, teacher, model, movement director, and speaker. I'm a woman of many artistries. However, they all funnel into the idea of art and healing. I reside in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where I am actually from Ghanaian and Canadian heritage, so I'm a very proud African. And I am about bringing the stories of my ancestors, the stories of my history forward. And I do that through the sense of bringing art and healing underneath the same umbrella. There are stories of our communities that go unspoken, that go untold, and some of those stories are for the purpose of being able to release that untrapped trauma that is in our bodies. And I think that through movement is such a beautiful facility to be able to lead people through that. So when I create my pieces, my practice is about moving and shifting that trauma that is often in the bodies and being able to maneuver that outwards into the ground, into the earth, and rooting it to be able to transmute that energy into something positive and really finding light throughout the darkness, tackling really heavy topics like shadism or shadow work in terms of, our own inner demons, is something that I'm really compelled to do. And it's a universal story that really affects everybody, no matter who you are and no matter where you're from. And so I think that those things are really important and often give a purpose into why I create art. Art is my healing. Art is my voice. It is the way that I connect to the community. So being able to bring that continuously forward for people to find new intersections of themselves within the work, and being able to see something they didn't see about themselves or see something in others that they necessarily didn't see before, I think is extremely important. So the last 10 months of COVID has really been a time for me to dive into the truth of that honesty, the truth of what it is that I want to say, and not being afraid about shielding behind thoughts that are not necessarily going to serve me, but knowing that as I find my own truth, I'm able to provide that truth to the community that is also grappling with the realities of what it is that we are facing. And so these are things that interest me as an art maker, as an artist, to be able to really bring myself forward. So when I'm thinking about international connections, I'm really thinking about how we can come together for that purpose of healing, how we can come together as a way to see the world differently and figure out how we can be those puzzle pieces that really bring things together, bring our communities together. So I thank you very much for joining me today. And I really look forward to meeting, seeing, and continuing to connect with these communities worldwide.